Okay, so I'm finally getting some connectivity here and just giving you a rundown for this week, what we're doing. So you had a little bit of quizzes in MindTap for Monday with the ER and IR present and the ER. Just make sure you still turn those in if you didn't get them done yet. And then you did finish your last grammar section for chapter 3, which means we're heading into our test, which will be due on Monday, right before Thanksgiving, which is the 21st. So we just decided in class that we would not have an in-person class on Tuesday next week. Instead, you would just work on your MindTap. There is a little bit due at the beginning of the week after you get your test done, but I made it very minimal due to the vacation and I want to give you a break. So just stay tuned for that. There is also this week for Thursday, there's not a normal Edpuzzle. You're still going into Edpuzzle to watch the video, but instead of answering the questions within Edpuzzle, you're going to watch them in this. You're going to watch the video still, but then you are going to answer the questions that come in this review sheet, which is the hoja de repaso. So you're going to watch your Edpuzzle like always, but instead of answering questions in Edpuzzle, you're going to answer them here. And then you're going to turn this in as an assignment, and that's going to get you your credit for Thursday. So that's what's due. You have a little bit of reading and just a little bit more review in MindTap too for Thursday. So the first thing that we are going to review is the dates and just the months, how we write those. So this song, it's We Will Rock You tune, and I will give you extra credit. I'll give you 5 points toward your next exam if you send me a recording of this song. Like I'm going to sing it. We'll do it a couple times together. Hopefully just jump in with me. And then if you want to do it on your own and then send me the video, then I'll give you 5 points for your test. If you want to do it with someone else, I'll give you 2.5 points each. So if you want to join with other people, that would be fine too. All right. So we have, remember, we will rock you. So we have enero, febrero, marzo, abril, mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre, noviembre y finalmente diciembre. Canta meses, meses del año, año, meses, meses del año. Año. So one more time, just to show you how it goes. We have enero, febrero, marzo, abril, mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre, noviembre y finalmente diciembre. Canta meses, meses del año, año, meses, meses del año. So extra credit if anybody can sing that song for me and send it over just anyway. Email would be fine. All right, so días de la semana. We want to review those. So we have lunes. And then what you need to do for this to get your credit for this class for Tuesday is just write down the answers to anything I ask you. So pause the video and just answer the question, and then you can play it for the answer. So what's after lunes? So we want to write martes. And remember, it's lowercase. Then miércoles, what's after miércoles? So just pause the video, write it down, and then you're going to take a picture of it and send it to me and just show me your work. Jueves, viernes, what's after viernes? Sábado, and don't forget that accent in sábado, and then domingo. So if I asked you, ¿cuál es tu día favorito? How could you answer that question? So you want to record this answer for me. You don't have to write the question. So for me, I would say, mi día favorito es sábado. What about you? ¿Y tú? 2. ¿Qué días tienes clases en la universidad? And you can just write this on a blank sheet of paper or a line paper, whatever you have available, and just send me the answers. ¿Qué días tienes clases en la universidad? So for me, I would say tengo clases los martes. And remember, you're using los before the day to say on Tuesdays, for example, los martes. Los miércoles would be on Wednesdays. If you just say el lunes, it's on Monday. But with los, that indicates that it's every Tuesday. So I would have said something like, tengo clases los martes. ¿Cuál es tu día menos favorito? Porque día es masculino. That's why it's favorito. So pause this video and answer that question. I would have said something like, mi día menos favorito es lunes. Lunes es muy difícil porque es el primer día de clases. ¿Cuándo es el fin de semana? So el fin de semana, think of it as the end of the week. So it's the weekend, el fin de semana. So you could say el fin de semana es, or just es, and then you just need you're not going to say el because we're not saying on Saturday. We're saying it's Saturday and Sunday y domingo, el fin de semana. Okay, let's do ¿cuál es la fecha de hoy? This is 5. So you can number these too. ¿Cuál es la fecha de hoy? We want to start by saying today the date is, and then we want to put the date. So we would say hoy es, and remember you have to say the and then the number. So you would say hoy es el 16 de, the 16th of noviembre. Okay, how about 6? ¿Cuándo es tu cumpleaños? Tu cumpleaños. Your birthday. I would say mi cumpleaños es el 6 de febrero. So how about you? You can pause this to write your answer. 7. ¿Cuándo es Navidad? Navidad is Feliz Navidad. We have Christmas. So we could say Navidad es, and make sure you pause it and write it yourself, the 25th of December. We would say I'm going to write out the number 25 or 25 if you did it as 3 words, de diciembre. Diciembre. Okay, 8. ¿Cuándo trabajas? ¿Cuándo trabajas? When do you work? So that's one of our regular AR verbs. So we have o, as, a, amos, ais, an. So to say I work, we would say trabajo de lunes a viernes. Or maybe you would say trabajo los martes y miércoles y jueves. For me, I'll say trabajo de lunes a viernes, from Monday to Friday. Let's do one more. ¿Cuándo es el día de San Patricio? St. Patrick's Day in Estados Unidos. It's the 17th of March. So pause the video. And here you would say es el 17, or you could write it as one word like this, 17 de marzo. Okay, so that was just a review of some of the days of the week and holidays and different things we'll be talking about. So I'm just heading over to Blackboard, and I actually have to go back to Module 10 because I'm going to grab a sheet, and if you want to use it, you can. It's basically the hold on one second. It's called A Que Hora Práctica, and it's in Module 11. I apologize for that. So I'm going to open that up. So I'm going to ask you a few questions about the information that's on the page. And So you just want to, you can access the document, or I'll ask you the question and you can write it down. Oops. Okay. We are striking out today. 1 minute. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a few questions here, and I'm just asking you to write down the answers. Write on your review sheet here. Or you could write it on your paper that you're going to show me. So you can send this along with your other information. So let's just look at the model here. We have ¿a qué hora es el recreo? El recreo. So we're going to look up at the schedule here. El recreo. It says el recreo es a las 9:15. So remember, when you're saying son las 9:15, you're saying it's 9:15. But when we say a las, or if it were one, we would say a la, that means at. So let's definitely consider that as you answer. So for número uno, these are the ones you're going to write down on your paper and the one you're sending to me. ¿A qué hora es la clase de historia? So we have la clase de historia aquí. Don't forget, with 10:50, we're probably going to round up to the next number and say it's 10 minutes or 10 minutes to 11, or we would say it's 11 minus 10. So first we have to start with history class, or we could just say historia, S, and then we want to say at 10:50. So pause the video, answer your question. So that should have been es a las 11 menos 10. And we would, if we wanted to say AM, we would say de la mañana. PM tarde, PM afternoon would be de la tarde, and then PM evening would be de la noche. So if we had AM, we would want to put that too. ¿A qué hora es la clase de mates or matemáticas? So here you have 8:30. So let's say 8:30 a.m. So let's just start with mates, which is math, or matemáticas, S. Now you want to say at 8:30 a.m. Pause the video. That would be a las 8:30 de la mañana. And then 3. ¿A qué hora es la clase de español? So español is at 9:25. So you're going to say es español, es, and then you want to say at 9:25. A las 9:25. And I'm going to write it as one word that time. You could do it as one or two. And then la salida, which is when we leave, is at 12. Let's say it's 12 noon p.m. So we can say la salida, which is literally the exit, es at, let's say noon. Careful with that one because it should be like midday. So you would say al mediodía. If you said a las 12 de la tarde, I could take it too. So al mediodía. Remember, a la medianoche, or es medianoche if you're saying it's midnight, es medianoche, or a la medianoche if you're saying at midnight. So mediodía, medianoche are those two. So this is just a little review. And then you would say de la tarde. One last thing, I just want to make sure that I did a little bit of review with you is on, so remember, don't forget that when you have a plus L, it becomes al.